Hello, I am Nidhi, and I go by pronoun she, her. Today I am here to talk about my year long thesis project called The Missing Ingredient. A baby only 3 months old can recognize voices. 6 to 8 months old can start to touch and feel. By the age of 1, that baby can learn to walk and talk. Then, by the age of 2, there is 1 in 4 chance that this child will be obese if that child lives in New York City and is from low income communities of color. This data strongly shows that childhood obesity isn't just a public health issue, but a social justice issue too. Closely linked with unhealthy food behavior, these extra pounds of adorable baby fat leads to chronic conditions which were once considered adult problems like diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, to name the few. Which brings me to my question: why are children undernourished in the wealthiest city in the world? Isn't healthy and nutritious food a basic human right? I started my research to understand the root cause of this problem. Over the course of my research, I learned that for these communities, what they eat, this or this, is not what the choices that they make, but the choices that they have. There are many factors in the system that play a role. Our choices are shaped by the complex world in which we live, the kinds of food our families make available at home, by how far we live from the nearest supermarket or a fast food restaurant, even by the way the government support the local produce. Government subsidies plays an important role in the cost difference in the food system. For example, USDA does not subsidize leafy crops in the same way it subsidizes wheat, corn, and soy. These three crops make up a lot of ultra-processed food. In United States, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, also known as food stamps, is a federal program that provides food purchasing assistance for low or no income people. Studies have shown that we have solved calorie problem, but now we have a problem of nutrition deficiency. Clearly, the system is built to provide more food, but not the right food. In the wake of unrest in the country, we all know too well the visible forms of discrimination in American society. But systematic discrimination is not as visible as police brutality. In the neighborhood often called food deserts, where there is lack of access to fruits vegetable market, but encouraging access to unhealthy food, which is causing disease, suffering, and eventual death, is an invisible form of systematic discrimination. And COVID-19 boiled over these stark realities, and today, those communities which were already struggling with nutrition insecurity found themselves at an increased risk of illness from COVID-19. Over the course, I learned that the imperative to change US food system is not new, but the urgency with the given condition is new. So as food pantries become the lifeline for New Yorkers during pandemic, for my thesis, I chose to support their work. I collaborated with New York Common Pantry to use design to support their work to build nutrition security, to fight food deserts, and to prevent childhood obesity. New York Common Pantry is an NGO located in South Bronx, a neighborhood with no shortage of history or culture, which gave the world the gift of hip hop, today suffers from highest food insecurity in the country. In this picture is my community partner Andrew, who is a senior public nutritionist at New York Common Pantry, and whose support has shaped my learning throughout this journey. I started volunteering at NGO in person and remotely to support their work. I started working on a Live Healthy program. Through this program, under Farm Share, the nonprofit offers fruits and vegetables from local farms from upstate New York with pre-order. This produce comes in varieties of fruits, veggies, and herbs as per the season. And this produce is offered at an affordable price of $7, which would retail at a grocery store at around $20. This program includes pantry services and nutrition education also. However, the great program like this suffered specific challenges and barriers in building community. On my visit to Food Pantry, I observed community assets of the neighborhood. This is New York Common Pantry, and I was amazed to look at the strategic location of this pantry. It was located right beside a Montessori school. When asked the team, I learned that they never had a chance to interact. Many team members also also showed concern that there is a saturation in the program engagement in the pandemic. And when I spoke to the community members, I learned that there are certain gaps in making them they don't know how to cook certain foods. And they also are not convenient with the live Zoom workshops always. Following which, I looked at the resources used for the communication with the community. There was a lack of human connection. With my research and insights, I thought, how might I address both the collective challenges that the participants face, in addition to strengthening the community collaboration and strengthening the ecosystem? To prototype this idea of learning from and with each other, along with the community partner, we developed a cultural probe, both in English and Spanish, to learn about food behaviors and environment. We invited participants from households with children to participate in our study for a week compensation. We deployed these materials along with a complimentary FarmShare bag to be used for a week. Inside the probe, we included a placemat to be used by adults, few different placemats for kids, which also can be repurposed as a poster. We also gave them a table-like food diary to learn about their food behaviors, feelings, and emotions. But as this was to be used for 7 days, we got very few responses on this. We also learned about their built environment, like restaurants, dailies, grocery stores, which they often visit, and what they buy. And to record results, we created a shared Google Drive. Our hearts were full seeing these colorful plates and hearing them sharing their experiences with us. And this was the first time the food pantry was able to see how the FarmShare produce was being used by the community. When asked, Martha shared that her children are now more actively taking part in the kitchen after this activity. After compiling all this information, I went back to my community partner to align the goals. I facilitated a workshop called What's on the Radar to the whole team at New York Common Pantry to reflect on the strengths, assets, needs, and challenges of the program. After the workshop, one of the team members shared that the activity helped them look at the specific challenges and barriers that they face daily in implementing the program. So with the whole team, we worked to align goals, to educate, persuade, and facilitate conversation between nutrition educators and family about sustainable food systems and nutrition security. This is when everything came together in the form of Missing Ingredient. It's about supporting one another to consume local, seasonal, and traditional food to bring food and health equity. A very important learning during this project was to be a designer in the space to build capacity. We worked collaboratively throughout to brainstorm, create resources, all by using the existing resources that the team were familiar with. And I was as a designer in space, I was very mindful of being a designer to work with them and not for them. We co-created an inclusive space by making all the materials in 3 different languages. Currently, with pandemic, we are bringing this as an online community. With one of the surveys done at the pantry, we learned that many members are familiar with Facebook groups, and so we built our community using Facebook groups, which is moderated and facilitated by nutrition educators to help members learn, cook, swap, and share food and recipes with each other and get a chance to build their community. Through Facebook group, through our membership questions, we could learn about participants' needs, which helped the team create personalized content. Incorporating feedback from the community, we built icebreakers. We shared food pictures made from FarmShare produce. We started sharing the content to engage community about local produce and sharing recipes on how to use them. Surveys and order forms go out through this channel where members can inform what they want in advance. Pantry can send personalized reminders for pickup and preview of what's coming in the next week. But during this time, we learned that not all members are using Facebook. So to reach out to these people, we created a Google site, a website which will include information about FarmShare subscriptions, a calendar to inform about upcoming events, a Meet to Produce page which shares the profile of the produce and inform about what's coming in, where it is coming from, what is the nutrition information, and what are the recipes that they can make it from them. We can also reach more organizations to inform about this program and collaborate through this site. So all this brought a shift in the communication. Towards the end, my community partner, along with his team, could build content from a simple clip art based flyer to a stepwise video through Google site, all by themselves. To promote this intervention, we use different channels to communicate with the audience, a newsletter and an Instagram handle. And my second part of intervention came to life with ease and outdoor restrictions. We took advantage of the physical space and good weather to bring our services upon streets with a pop-up stall every Tuesday from March to April for 4 weeks. We got opportunity to talk to more people. And in that, remember the school just beside the food pantry? To develop community collaboration, I took opportunity to make a cold call on school's door on one of the distribution days and ask the concerned person if they can spend just 2 minutes to know about the program. And guess what? She was the principal of the school. We signed her up for the farm share program, and we also got families coming to our pop stall with their children to sign up for our upcoming nutrition workshop. We conducted a live nutrition workshop through Facebook group in collaboration with Growing Uptown, Garden Kitchen Lab, and Dykeman Farmhouse to make polenta with seasonal veggies to celebrate Earth Day. These are some of the pictures and comments shared by the participants. I would like to share the impressions of my community partner about the intervention. Andrew says that missing ingredient has potential to help them communicate more effectively with the community. And Aura, who is the director of the program, says that she is looking forward to continue to grow this intervention as it addresses the specific needs. About sustaining the intervention, we have already had a graduate intern from a nutrition background who is interested in building community for her thesis and will work alongside a social media manager to take it from here. Because this is just the beginning. With collaborative efforts, we will all be able to change the system, build health equity with one bite at a time. Before I end, I would like to thank a lot of people. All the people who are watching me right now from their screens, my community partner Andrew, and the whole team at New York Common Pantry. This would not have been possible without your continuous support. My thesis advisor Sloan, and all the other advisors for their feedback. DSI Chair Mia, my husband for his love and support, my parents, friends, family, and my cohort for sailing together against the odds of these crazy times. Thank you so much.